Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another edition of Fan Talk, your favorite podcast by your favorite fan. Can you believe it's Wednesday again? Well, believe it or not, it is here. The weeks go by so fast for me. I don't know what it is. It just flies by. I've been doing this podcast for almost 2 years now. We're getting there. We're getting real close. We're getting up there. Thank you guys so much for staying with me and joining. If this is your first time, Fan Talk is a podcast by me, Kyle Bridgley, where I talk about sports. It's that simple. There's no bells and whistles really to it, but you can find me on YouTube, iHeartRadio, Spotify, Amazon, Apple, everywhere. I'm out there, and I'm talking about the good word, and that word is sports. So welcome so much. Shout out to the Rogue One poster. I've missed that the last couple days. I have yet to see the Acolyte. I know it came out yesterday, and the first two episodes. I'm really eager to watch it. I've heard it's good, but I'm excited for that. That takes place obviously before the Phantom Menace, so a time period in Star Wars that we don't really have too much about, at least in canon. A lot of good stuff in Legends, but we'll be checking that out. We'll be talking about a lot of good things here on the podcast, as always. So sit back, relax, enjoy, and let me know what you're thinking, because you're a fan too, and your opinion matters. All right, let's start off with the fan talk, fast talk. Kylian Mbappe. You guys don't know who he is. French soccer player, has been playing for Paris Saint-Germain for the French team. Really good young player. You know, many consider the future of soccer. I mean, really, he's the present. Messi and Ronaldo, they're still superstars and in their own regard, but I mean, they're definitely on their way out. And Mbappe is kind of the man of the hour now. He is signing with Real Madrid. Now, this is crazy because Real Madrid obviously just won the Euros, the Champions League, and they're stacked. And they've had a history of being stacked. They've had some great players there in the past, and now Mbappe is another one that they can boast about. So he will be signing with Real Madrid. So fear that team for years to come. Oklahoma and Texas will be squaring off in the Softball World Series Championship. Oklahoma looking to be a four-peat, looking to win it for the fourth year in a row. They'll be facing off against Texas. Texas had a really good season. Texas is actually the 1 seed, OU the 2 seed. And the future of college softball has never looked brighter with both teams moving into the SEC. This is a preview of an insane matchup that will be, years afterwards, years coming, years going forward. So keep an eye on that. Game one is today. Today is Wednesday, of course. First pitch in a couple hours here, but should be good. If you never watch college softball, we're kind of seeing the evolution of women's sports. People are getting real into the WNBA, women college basketball, women's softball. Hey, maybe it's next. And the Utah Jazz. That's right. We're talking about the Utah Jazz and their jerseys. They're getting an upgrade. As you may or may not know, the Utah Jazz, they went off with the neon yellow, black, and white, which is, in its own. People have their opinions about it, but I mean, as you can see here, they're doing a new evolution. These jerseys will slowly be unveiled in a kind of a 2-season process. So as you can see here, these new purple jerseys, it's going to be focused on the Mountain. We're really excited about Mountain basketball. So this new purple one and the new black one, new white one, and then of course this one was used in their last season as well. So new jerseys for the Utah Jazz. I posted on my Instagram story which one you think is the best. So go over to K Brench Instagram and vote for your favorite one there. But finally, they're going to get rid of the neon yellow. They'll still have the white and yellow and then the black and yellow this year, but then they'll be phased out by next year. So the time has finally come for the return of the Mountain. So that was the Fan Talk Fast Talk. A little longer this time, but don't mind if we spend a little extra time on that. All right, today we're going to be talking about the NBA Finals. Yes, it has finally come. Game 1 is tomorrow, Thursday the 6th. The Boston Celtics from the East, the Dallas Mavericks from the West, coming together in a matchup that nobody probably predicted. Now, Boston, best record in the NBA, best team performance here in the NBA this year, best team in the East by far. Uh, I, I I mentioned this beforehand. I honestly thought it was going to be Nuggets Celtics just because I thought those were the two best teams, and maybe they are. But the Celtics didn't really face that much resistance. They went 12-2 in all their series throughout the playoffs in the East, sweeping the Indiana Pacers. Um, so they haven't really met that much resistance. That could be a problem. We'll talk about that in a second. And then the Dallas Mavericks, surprising everyone. I don't think we should totally be surprised, though. I think I mentioned this before. It's all about matchups. It doesn't matter exactly what your seed is. Well, it does because obviously matchups matter and home court matters, but it's not the end all be all. Like, last year we mentioned that the Miami Heat, the 8 seed, made an incredible run. 3 years ago, the Atlanta Hawks were a 7 seed and were one game away from going to the NBA Finals. So, I mean, teams can get hot. Teams can have good matchups. If a team is led by a superstar, in the case of the Dallas Mavericks, Luka Doncic, then you're sitting pretty. You have him on your team, then your future is bright. And not just him, they added Kyrie Irving. And I know last year they missed the playoffs, and there were some question marks about, is this another blown up experiment with Kyrie Irving? He's really calmed down. He's not quite the diva that he used to be. He's comfortable. He's playing relaxed. He's a team player. He likes it in Dallas. He said this. He said, "quote I am my best self here in Dallas." Obviously when he was in Boston, things were turbulent. When he was in Brooklyn, things were a mess. Here in Dallas, he's feeling good. All it took was him coming to the West. West Coast, best coast is what they say, even though Dallas is really in the heartland. But the Dallas Mavericks, their supporting cast with PJ Washington, Derek Lively the third has really stepped up. He's been playing great. Daniel Gafford, all these guys really just doing what they're supposed to do, putting in quality minutes and helping out these two superstars and pushing their way through the West. Now it's going to be a fun NBA Finals matchup. This one is very exciting. On paper, you think the Dallas Mavericks have the edge, and they do. On paper, they absolutely do. They're the heavy favorite. Again, they're the best team in the NBA. They won 64 games all year, only lost 18. They rank first in point differential, first in offensive rating, second in defensive rating, first in net rating, and have the better odds to win the NBA Finals. They've had 9 days of rest from their last game against the Pacers to the first game tomorrow, which has allowed Kristaps Porzingis, their big man, to get back in the game. He missed the entire Indiana Pacers series, and now he's back. He should be good to go for game 1. Not only is he 7'3" and a good rim protector, but he is also 3-point shooter, deadly on the offensive end, very versatile, another weapon to a team that already has Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown, and a great supporting cast, Drew Holiday. So, watch out on paper, this team. And this is their year to win it. They don't have, Golden State there who beat them 2 years ago, which I really thought that the Celtics should have won, but obviously they just didn't come to play. They didn't perform well. They didn't have the experience. Now 2 years later, can they shake off their ghosts and take down the Dallas Mavericks? But you can't count out Luka Doncic. He's always had success in the playoffs. Yeah, he's never won a title. He's young. The Mavericks haven't been back to the finals since the Dirk Nowitzki, Jason Kidd days. I think 2012 was the last time they were there. But they've always been competitive. They took out the Clippers in the first round, a Clippers team who is stacked on the stat sheet. You look at it, they're like, wow, you got all these good players. but the Mavericks just dismantled them. Then they took out a very good Timberwolves team, a very hot Timberwolves team. Oh, and before that, they took out the 1 seed, the Oklahoma City Thunder, beating them a couple times in OKC. You know, that fan base was going crazy because OKC is the 1 seed with a bunch of young guys. They were loving it. So the Mavericks are definitely, you can't sleep on this series. And I don't think many people are. If you are, then wake up and smell the barbecue, because this team is scary. And it's going to be a good matchup. I am hoping for 7 games in this series, at least 6. Like, give me something real competitive. I wouldn't be surprised a couple overtime games. Celtics are favored. I want to make that clear. The Celtics are favored, but the Celtics always choke. They always choke. Last year, they got knocked out by the Miami Heat, 8 seed. The year before that, they lost to the Golden State Warriors. The year before that, they lost to the Miami Heat. They've been to the Eastern Conference Finals 6 times in the last 8 years, but have not won a single NBA championship in any of those 6 seasons. So this is their year to do it, but they've had a pretty easy road so far, as I mentioned before, 12-2, sweeping a injury-depleted Pacers team, beating a Jimmy Butler-less Miami Heat team. So they haven't really faced resistance like the Dallas Mavericks. And so it should be a very interesting series. I'm interested to know what you guys think down below. Drop your predictions for the game. For game 1. Last year I did coverage after every single game. And I think I'm going to do that again this year. So look for an episode coming out maybe on Friday. I still actually haven't decided. So I might do it. I might just do a weekly one. We'll see. But it should be really interesting. Let me know your predictions down below. Personally, here's my prediction right here, right now. Game one, I think the Dallas Mavericks win Game 1. Doncic is on fire, and he's not going to have a bad Game 1. He might have a bad Game 2, might have a bad Game 3. They're going to win Game 1. They're going to catch the Celtics a little dazed. You know, they've had a lot of days of rest. They haven't played. They might be a little off. Porzingis hasn't played in a while. Dallas wins Game 1. As for the entire series, I think Dallas wins it all. Honestly, it's more so me betting on the Celtics to choke than on the Mavericks to just straight up beat them. Just because I don't think they'll get over their demons, the Celtics. They've, like I said, six out of the 8 years they've made it to the Eastern Conference Finals. They've made it to the NBA Finals. This is their second time in the last 3 years. And this is where they will choke. But key factors, again, to watch. Porzingis, he is the X factor for the Boston Celtics. Will he be able to show up? Will he be able to step up? And then, of course, Luka Doncic, he is the man. He has to play well for the Mavericks to have a shot. Should be interesting. Let me know what you guys think down below. I will return next time with some more NBA coverage. It's exciting. It's real exciting. This is a fun NBA Finals matchup. I'm excited to see what happens, to see if the Celtics choke or if they overcome their demons, and to see if the Mavericks, led by a young Luka Doncic, supported by Kyrie Irving, can they get a chip back in Dallas for the first time in over a decade. All right, guys, that was Fan Talk. Again, you can find me wherever you get your podcast. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. I'll see you guys next time for another great edition of Fan Talk. Now take it easy, and I'll see you later.